Welcome, foolish mortals, back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Disney Newsreel. I picked just a few quick stories today because my camera is running out of battery and the charging cable is in the bedroom where Anna and Aiden are currently asleep. Well, Anna's asleep. I don't know if Aiden's asleep yet. So hopefully I can make this quick so that I don't have my camera die on me partway through recording. Before I get in, I picked out about 4 stories today. A couple of them will be pretty quick, really quick. So before I get into that, make sure if you are not subscribed to the channel, you hit that subscribe button down below. And also make sure to leave us a like and a comment. Let us know how we're doing. So the first out of the 4 stories that I picked out was some breaking news from today that said that Disney World, because Disney had their quarter four earnings report. And in that report, they had mentioned a few things. One was that hallelujah, that Disney parks were actually operating at a slightly higher profit than they had expected them to. So that is good news. And then CEO Bob Chapek did confirm that Walt Disney World, the title of this here, Walt Disney World theme parks are now operating at 35% capacity. So they were operating at about 25%. They've now upped that to 35%. They have now decided that they feel safe in the way that they're doing things, in the way that they are handling everything as far as the virus is concerned, that they are able to bump up their capacity to 35%. So slowly but surely things are working their way up. So that's pretty much it from the first one. There was really nothing else incredibly interesting out of that article besides the fact that they are operating at a slightly higher percentage. So 35% up from 25%. So that's nice to hear that things are starting to get more towards normal. Secondly, actually the second and third one are similar. So the first one is Affection Section at Disney's Animal Kingdom, scheduled to reopen this weekend. So the Affection Section is listing hours, again beginning on Sunday, November 15th. So that's pretty exciting. And they're listed every day through January 20th as of right now. So, and the Affection Section is actually, we've never been there because it's out at Rafiki's Planet Watch. And we've never done Rafiki's Planet Watch. We plan to do Rafiki's Planet Watch, but we haven't yet. I believe it's kind of like a petting zoo type thing, as near as I was able to tell. But the Planet Watch reopened with the rest of the park back in July, but the Affection Section had stayed closed. But it is now on its way to reopening, so that will be pretty good as far as getting everything back and reopened, so long as they can keep a handle on how many people they're letting into the parks and keeping them separated and stuff like that. And then, secondly, the Harambe Market, which is also at Animal Kingdom, is to reopen this weekend as well. The Harambe Market has been poised to reopen for some weeks now. And it will now be opening, where is it? So it's a quick service. For those of you who don't know, the Harambe Market is a quick service dining location. And it will be open on weekend. Will be reopening on weekends and select busy days starting on Saturday the 14th of November. So as of this recording, that will be almost tomorrow. It's about 11 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. So about a day and an hour is about how long it's going to be. And they have fairly short hours listed. It's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekend for this weekend, and 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for every subsequent weekend. So it's just kind of a partial reopening, but that's kind of how they've been handling a lot of their reopenings, is they'll reopen it for a little bit. With this next and final thing that I want to talk about, that's the same thing that they did with that, but it was just over at Epcot. But they'll kind of phase the reopening of them and have them reopen shorter and only a certain number of days in the week, so that they can kind of gauge how many people are going in and try to make sure that all of their social distancing is solidified before they let everybody in every day. So, and last but not least, Sommerfest in Germany Pavilion at Epcot and now open every day. So this is the one that had only been open for, it might have been the same thing, like on weekends and then like maybe one day a week or something like that, and like maybe any holidays or something like that. But they have now decided that they can reopen it every day of the week. It was here we go. It was previously only operating on weekends since it reopened in September a couple months ago. But now you won't. Let's see, what does it say here? But now guests don't have to go searching for a jumbo pretzel and beer. But for now, Zomerfest does still have a limited menu, but they will be open every day. So, and Zomerfest is one of the ones that one of the quick service restaurants that we like to go to, because Zomerfest is the quick service little kind of kiosk thing that's inside of. You go under the arch that leads into the Biergarten. It's actually the Zomerfest Biergarten. But there's big doors that go into the actual Biergarten, which is their table service restaurant, and then just a little ways over from just around the corner from that, the line actually starts from the other side. But you go look just around the corner, and Zomerfest, the stand is right there, and they have some pretty good stuff. They usually have brats, and I think a jumbo pretzel is normally one of the things that's on there. If it sounds like I'm pronouncing those funny, it's because I'm saying them how they would be pronounced in German. Instead of Biergarten and Summerfest, I pronounce it the German way, which is Biergarten and Sommerfest. I was learning German for a while, and I still plan to, so that's why I say it that way. But yeah, so it looks like slowly but surely things are starting to get more towards reopening, and I'm under no predilections that all of a sudden we're just going to be able to, everything's in Disney World and Disneyland and everything is going to just be like, boom, all right, we're all the way open. I'm under no predilections of that. Like, there's nothing that would even, like, that would not be a good idea. I know that. And so they're not going to do that. But it's just nice to see that things are starting to progress a little further, and that they feel that they are able to continue to allow things to reopen at sooner than they originally were planning on some of them, because they feel like they are able to have a better control over the social distancing and things like that. So it's really nice to see the things getting more towards some semblance of normal. Because I think I mentioned this in our last video, or one of our last videos, is that Disney World and Tokyo Disneyland are the only two Disney parks that are open, because Disneyland has not been allowed to reopen yet. Disneyland Paris opened and shut down again, and they're planning to reopen for Christmas and then shut down again, but we'll see how that goes. Hong Kong opened and then closed again, and I believe the same went for Shanghai. I believe they also opened and then closed again. As far as I know, they've closed again, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I might have to look that up, and maybe I'll put that down at the bottom here once I find that out. So, but at the very least, Disney World is doing a little better. They're opening things up a little more, and again, the same in Tokyo, but they're run by different companies, so I don't usually look too heavily at their news, at least as of right now, because there's not a whole lot going on. So, like I said, slowly but surely things are getting towards a semblance of normalcy. I know it'll never get back there, really, because there's just too much that has changed because of this, and too much that will stay changed, but, that's just kind of how we have to live it. It's just nice to have a little bit of positive news every once in a while. So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, I wanted to keep it really short so that my camera didn't die on me. So thank you all for joining me this week, and I hope that I will see you all again next week. But until then, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.